Hi, I'm Nathan. I'm a fitness expert at SCHEELS. I've really been really active with sports since I was a kid. Being a three-sport athlete growing up, hockey was always my favorite sport. But as I graduated and got busy with college, I needed something to kind of have my me time and really found running. From there, I just kind of got bored with just running 6 days a week and then kind of found triathlon kind of through an old coach, and also just remembering watching the Ironman, TV episodes once a year. The biggest challenge for me when I started triathlon was really the swimming side of it. I knew I could bike and there wasn't the concern. I grew up on a lake, and so lake and swimming wasn't out of my nature, but I didn't do it competitively. And so I remember getting in the pool for the first time and I couldn't even swim to the other end of the pool with my head above the water, and just slowly went down and then went down and back. Started learning to teach myself how to breathe properly. Swimming is probably the biggest challenge for me getting going, but now it's honestly my favorite part of it. My favorite part of the journey, I think, for swimming was really just seeing the progression. I remember not being able to make it 100 meters and knowing that the sprint triathlon swim is like a 500-ish meter swim. And that seemed like an eternity or a really incredible distance. And now, getting in the pool, I do a 500 for a warm-up many days. And so, again, just kind of seeing how that evolves really probably been my favorite part. Yeah, one of the things that I always tell my kids is we don't use the word can't. And so when somebody says, I can't do that because I can't swim, I always say, get in the pool and start to figure it out, start to learn. Our community is really wonderful and really enabling people or helping people do things that they don't think they can do. So if you don't think that you can do it, you just got to convince yourself that you can. Anybody can really do anything when it comes to triathlon. One of my favorite moments for me in my first Ironman, got halfway through the bike and my bike kind of malfunctioned on me. I lost all my gears for the second half, and I just saw the girls previously, and they were go daddy, go. And I remember trying to think how can I fix my bike along the way? I could ride it, I just didn't have any gears. And in the hills of Wisconsin, that wasn't the most ideal situation. But, I told my girls, I'll see you at the finish line. And so, whether it was I had to get off my bike and walk up a hill because I couldn't pedal them any further or whatnot, I just remember kept telling myself, I made them a promise, and I got to get to that finish line. Eventually made it back to town on the bike, and they were at the exchange or transition standpoint. My legs were just burnt. I knew I had to run a marathon, or at least run a marathon. But I remember seeing their faces and them just still not knowing what happened, just kind of go daddy go, you can do this. And pretty much knew at that point that once they started to hear the story afterwards of what happened on the race course and how I ultimately just wasn't going to give up, that it would have an impact on them of having that same philosophy going forward of, again, if you're facing something tough, or if it's a challenge during the race or on with your team, if you just tell yourself you can do anything, you can do anything. And I've repeated that story to them a few times now, and again, I go back to it of knowing I still had 56 miles in one gear up and down the hills of Wisconsin, and then I had to run still a 26-mile marathon, and there was a time limit that I couldn't, that was gonna cut off, that I just had to find a way. And so that's probably the moment still that I go back to a lot. And coming down that finishing chute, hearing Mike Riley say, Nathan Enderle, you are an Ironman, was just kind of the icing on the cake in terms of being able to kind of be yep, you can do anything you want, Nathan, if you put your mind to it.